Okay, so this is a second video today, and I want to talk about this core concept I have behind my life. This fundamental idea. It's the fundamental lesson that this is kind of like a test. It's kind of like an experiment. I want to see if you know this, maybe not as well as I do, but if you know this objectively, is this going to change your life? Let's find out. I doubt it, but let's find out. So imagine you have a set of random variables, okay? A finite set of random variables. Now the variables are numbers, they are integers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, not 1.5 or something like that. No. Whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to infinity. But this set's values, the values of the individual nodes or random variables in the set can range from 0, can range from -5 to 100. So the maximum possible value is 100, the minimum possible value is -5, all right? Okay, so if you say you click the turn on button and all the numbers, all of the random variables will be assigned to random numbers between -5 and 100. Now the thing is, this is the same thing that happens in real life, except that the random variables are people. And this massive set is all of humanity in a given amount of time, in some point in time. So you are one of those random variables. And the dice is rolled for your number when you are born. That's just a theory because we really don't know anything about time and how it works, or if there really is multiple universes based on every decision you make and stuff like that. We wouldn't really know this concretely for fact experimentally. This is just a theory. All right, so let's assume that it's I'm out of breath for some reason. I'm talking too intensely. I need to relax. Okay, so let's say when you're born, the roll of dice is rolled and your value is assigned. Now, if you, I mean, I didn't bring this up, I should have. The higher the value of the random variable, the better off that person will be. So if that person is born with a ridiculous 100, that person is like Genghis Khan or something, or Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, or like he rolled the perfect dice, born just the right time, by the right people, being raised by the right people, going to the right institutions to learn the right things by the right teachers, doing the right things in their lives, making the right choices because they're having the right genes and the right nurturing and supportive environment throughout their childhood. And so they roll the perfect dice of life. That is number 100. But number -5 is someone who's born paralyzed with type 1 diabetes and gets cancer by age 25 or something like that, and spends his death painful and slow death, alone, lonely, hungry, with some diseases and pain and bad doctors and bitch nurses and so on, like the worst possible luck, the worst possible fate, or gets tortured or gets caught and tortured by some country or some terrorist organization or some criminal organization or something like that, and he dies a slow, painful, horrible, unmentionable death that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemies. Or you're a Jew and you get thrown into the concentration camps. I think in World War II or something horrible like that, and that's like -5 or -4, some crazy shit like that. So the thing is, in my case, I kind of theorized this at a very young and early age, and so I don't want my dice to be rolled for me. I don't want my fate to be decided and predetermined before I'm born or after I'm born, but very early on in my life, like at age 2 minutes or something like that. I, I I didn't like having my fate predetermined and out of my control. I didn't. I did not. I did not like the idea of thinking that certain possibility in my mind is impossible, or thinking that, oh, I could never be successful because my dice rolled a bad number, like 10 or 2, something really crappy. I don't like that. I don't accept that. And why I don't accept it so harshly is a different personal reason, but it's because at my early age I did something. Actually, I don't want to mention that shit. I don't want to talk about that. So I just did not accept it. Not even a little bit. It was way out of a question. Not I would die trying, but I'll show everyone that even if it is the case, it doesn't matter because I'll die trying to achieve the impossible. That was my reaction to that possibility. So what I did was, you know what? I'll break the rules. I will understand the system at play that rolls those dices, and I will reverse engineer it and then manipulate that bitch to get number 100. Because fuck the universe, I make up my own rules. You tell me it's impossible, I say why? Is it really impossible? Let's find out. And then I try my absolute hardest to achieve the impossible, and keeping the big picture in mind all the time. Now this, the way this translates into my actual life is that, okay, I kind of think this way. If I know everything there is to know, what is my next step going to be? What? I mean, no, I mean, like, if I know everything, what path in life would I be taking? And can I take that now? Can I figure out that that path is the best, absolute best path I can take? But of course, you can't beat the laws of nature, the laws of physics. I'm talking about, like, I can't realistically know everything. So based on the information I have access to, what is the best possible decision I can make? Taking the big picture in mind. So that includes me not dropping out of college right now. I mean, I badly want to drop out or transfer or see motherfuckers go burn in hell. I want to get out of here and live my life, my one and only precious life. But taking the big picture in my mind, and taking the usually larger probability, the usually larger probability of me not dying at such a young age, I'm assuming that I'll stay alive long enough such that me graduating a year from now is not going to affect my overall life and progress and achievement all that much. So the bigger picture, it's a better idea to stick around in college and just take the raping for one more year. My ass is sore, but just one more year. One more year, and no more raping, no more dicks in my ass. Okay? No more raping after 1 year. Alright? I get to do the raping after that. Alright? My dick has not been touched ever, but my ass is sore. It's my turn, motherfuckers. Bitch, I hate college, motherfuckers. I hate that shit so much. It is inhumane, man. It's fucking inhumane. Anyway, so the idea is to not be limited by my conditions, by my environment, scenario, whatever you want to call it, by the conditions in which I was born into, by my race, the time of, I mean, the era in which I am born into, the family I'm born into, to transcend all of that crap and just fucking jump into the greatest point in the universe, the greatest experience you can have, the greatest success you can have, regardless of circumstance, regardless of conditions, regardless of people around you. Just use whatever nature gives you and make the most of that shit. And in my case, what I want out of my life is not really about feeling good right now. So that's why actually I always feel bad But that also means I'm always making progress, ridiculous progress that people around me only dream about. They just like they just dream about it, and I think they're you're dreaming about this, and I'm doing it right now. All you gotta do is ask. Why don't you just ask? I don't care about you. It's your fault. But hey, I'm just doing my thing, and I should not. I should wait for them to ask for help instead of offering my help. That's a lesson I learned the hard way. But anyway, back to the topic. Um, so yeah, the idea was to see what my conditioning are, my circumstances are, and try to transcend that such that I'm not bounded by that shit. Right? I'm not bounded by that. I'm not bounded. I mean, my way of thinking is not bounded by my culture. My personal identity is not bounded by my place in the world. My certain kind of a style is not bounded by my race. My belief system is not bounded by my race or family or country, whatever. I choose who I am because that's the best choice. I know that sounds a very, it sounds like a very INTP thing, but it might be. I don't know. But I made that decision myself. You know. Again, that's it's still an INTP thing, maybe. I don't know. Either way, the core idea here, the core philosophy, the core concept here is that yes, I'm born in this point in space and time, but it is theoretically possible to move anywhere in the set of possibilities in the space and time. But if you wait long enough, that window's gonna close. So I'll start early and walk in the best direction I think is best, and I'll keep figuring out which direction is best until I get to the best point there is. It's like a searching algorithm, and it's like I have a certain amount of space, right? The space of possibilities, a space of destinations, a space of possible futures. And now I'm born into one point. Now, it's not the center of everything, and some things, yes, they are out of my reach, but my reach is much longer than most people believe their reach is, right? And so if I wait long enough, I would be conditioned so much so that it's harder to reach out to further possibilities, because I'm so conditioned into this little area of possibilities, this little culture, this little religion, this little way of thinking. So I'm too bounded by it. So I start early in life, I get a head start, a jump start, and I never stop walking. I never stop running. Just run like the fucking wind. And sure, I don't know in the beginning which direction to run into, but running in any direction is better than running in no direction. Because it's easier to get back to your origin point than it is to go into a further point away from your origin point, right? And so that's why I constantly reevaluate everything to see if I'm still going in the right direction of possibilities. Because I might not be walking in the right direction. I might be going in the opposite direction. I gotta make sure I go in the right direction, because I only have one life, one possibility, one chance to make it all as best as possible. If I'm born and my dice rolled a 50, fantastic. I have more room for failure. But I could be born with a -5, although I doubt it's that bad. I might be born with a 10 or 5. I have no fucking clue. And the only way to know is in your deathbed, is when it's too late to do anything about it. And so I take the initiative. I am proactive in this regard. And I make sure I don't fall into into the wrong hole of the possibilities and get stuck down there. That's horrible. A lot of people die regretting their life choices, and this is why. I try to learn from their mistakes, and I try my best not to make those mistakes that they made. Anyway, there's no more time. I hope I get the message across. I hope the core concept was clear, concise enough, and I drew a nice picture of it all. And if I changed anybody's life, please let me know in the comments or a private message. I have to know. I have to know if I changed someone's life. I doubt it, but maybe. I never know, right? Never know.